Hi, I'm Kainoa Lloyd with the James Bay Rugby Club and the Canadian men's national team. I'd have to say there's two moments that I can look back that were just way above the rest. First and foremost, going to the World Cup, even though not getting to play, getting to be in that atmosphere was just such an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I was really grateful to be there. My other moment was scoring against Wales in the first game that we played in the summer of 2021. When I was in high school, we went on tour, and that was the first rugby game that I ever watched live professionally and internationally. And to go back there, 8-9 years later, and actually be playing in the stadium when I never thought that would actually be a possibility was just an incredible moment. I remember in the bus, I was tearing up a little bit, thinking wow, this is really happening. I'm about to play against Wales, and that was just a extreme experience to get to do that and score a try against them and be up against them in the first minutes of the game. I think what inspires me to bring awareness about BIPOC and issues that involve them is a lot of the players on my team and the different BIPOC people involved in Rugby Canada. I think the amount of leadership that they bring in that community to raise awareness and to create change is just really incredible. I love to see how much they're putting forward and how much time and effort they're doing to do that. I think also, if I look at my brother, he's a teacher and he gets involved in a lot of issues at school and raising awareness and creating communities and clubs and places to foster that kind of relationship with BIPOC. So I think looking at those examples just makes you want to do more. I think a couple of years back, something that really stood out to me was one of our former Rugby Canada players, Jay Ross. He said we should be celebrating Black excellence year round and not just for a month. And that really resonated for me of how I'm looking at, reflecting on what it is to be Black and the different things that people who look like me and other BIPOC have done in the past to allow me to have the ability to do what I do today. That shouldn't just be relegated to 1 month. That's a year-round reflection that you should be constantly trying to do. So I think now, instead of just thinking, oh, I'll do this reflection this month, I try to be more critical of thinking about it more often and being more aware of things, not just in 1 month, but kind of year round. I think that's the biggest change. Is, in a sense, it still has a lot of meaning to it, being Black History Month, but I put emphasis on making sure that I do stuff outside that month, and I'm not just thinking about it one time a year. One of the things I realized about being a person of color, especially playing for a national team, is that you're kind of an ambassador and a role model for other Black Canadians, Black athletes. People look up to you, and that's a responsibility that I didn't really think of growing up, and now I'm starting to realize is something that's really huge, and that I have the ability to not just inspire rugby players, but just show people of color that you can make it and you can be yourself and get to this level, and these are things that you can aspire to do, and having more representation on those different teams is something that Black kids really look up to, and being able to see that there's another person of color on the team gives them something to aspire to. I'd say my advice to young athletes, especially Black athletes, is that if you feel like you're being treated differently because of your race, it's very important to speak up early and to be aware of that. I think that that's not important just for you, but the people coming after you who are coming into this world and not knowing what's going on. You can be a real voice to advocate for them and help make change.